But you know what I'm not bummed out about, Ed? This announced on Twitter, all right? And did you hear about Austin Aries officially signing with the WWE?
I did not.
You did not. So he officially signs with the WWE. He showed up at the tapings tonight, at the NXT tapings, and WWE tweeted it, right? They showed his entrance. I go and tweet it out, and people tweeted out, and they looked at it as a spoiler and complained. The official Twitter posted it. And I don't know if you've seen the video, but I got goosebumps, man. I got goosebumps. The graphics are already there. The T-shirts are going to be within a week.
Yeah, I was digging the graphic. It kind of had like a Captain America theme look to it.
Not even that too. Like honestly, what
Yeah.
we'd have to have video and then kind of show clips off. But yeah, it kind of does. You're right. I thought you were just kind of making shit up, and then I look at it,
No.
and because I looked at it really fast, I didn't fully look at it. You're right. It kind of has that Air Force with the wings coming off the A.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it kind of is. What are your thoughts on this? Signing the WWE, he's here. We did get James Storm. He went back home. Are you more happy with Aries, or would you rather have Storm?
I'm good with Aries. I think he'll come right into the title picture.
Really? Already?
Already, I think he'll come right in, kind of like Samoa Joe did. I think Aries is a better talent. Similar on a name scale as Joe, but I think he'll come right in the title picture, and I think bringing people in like Aries will open the door for Balor to move up.
All right, so let's talk about that really quick because this is, we're probably may or may not talk about spoilers. I'm just gonna try this. Same time, you said he's gonna come into the title picture, but they had a match tonight. They taped it, and it was Sami Zayn versus Samoa Joe, and it went to a double pin. So they're gonna face each other next tapings in a 2 out of 3 falls. Winner faces Sami Zayn, Finn at Mania. Most likely on the Mania, the show that they're doing on Saturday. So, do you think Austin Aries has any shot of just going right to the main roster, or is he going to be in NXT a while?
I think he'll be in NXT for a little bit. I think that Samoa Joe may move up. I think Balor may move up, and I think that's kind of going to be the cycle where if a veteran comes in, a known veteran comes in, I think they'll do 2 or 3 months in NXT to get to learn the system, help out the younger guys, and then we'll move up to the main roster and make way for the next person they bring in.
Are there names that would supersede this? Because like right now we know Finn came in, Hideo came in, Asuka came in. They all came in and they went straight to NXT. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. Talks of AJ Styles going straight to the main roster. Smart or stupid?
Oh, I think that's smart. There's some you just have to go to the main roster. I think if the Young Bucks would happen to come to sign with WWE, I think they would definitely go to the main roster.
But AJ Styles, he's kind of like, he's really big right now, but he just had an injury. Like, he was going to miss some December stuff, and he postponed, and he still put on a hell of a show at ROH. I commend him for that. And then New Japan, he had to pull out of some matches, too. So they just signed a guy. What happens if he gets hurt the day he debuts? At Rumble, they throw him over the top rope, and he gets hurt. Does that make Triple H look good or bad?
I would hope people would understand, because the same thing could happen in NXT. You could go in NXT and get hurt the first day.
They did. So Hideo. So that's my other thing. Like, if Triple H, would you agree that Triple H is killing it right now?
Yes.
So
absolutely,
he's absolutely nailing NXT. They're selling out. They're doing great. He starts bringing in all these guys. Owens is paying off. He's selling merch like fucking crazy. They're doing a bunch, right? You have Finn is selling good merchandise. People love him. They're working because they're not hurt, right? Hideo comes in, gets hurt. Sami Zayn hurt out a while. If he keeps going down his list of signing these guys and they pay off, Vince goes, all right, I have more confidence in you. But what happens when more of these guys come in, if they do get hurt? Like, would you just blow it off as injuries? Or do you have to then start, you know what? Maybe we can't bring in all these high-profile guys. Because I worry about that. What honestly happens if AJ Styles comes out and they have him booked all the way to Mania and he's hurt day one?
I mean, it would just be a freak accident, a freak thing. My whole thing with it is back in the 90s, early 2000s, like one of the things you always look forward to, a little bit before the internet days, was a surprise appearance, a new person just showing up out of nowhere and coming onto the scene. that's where WWE has been lacking over the past several years is people showing up out of nowhere. And I think people showing up from the NXT brand doesn't have the same exact feel as a new face from outside of the WWE company. So I think when you have somebody outside of WWE show up to the main brand, I think that brings a different kind of spark than somebody showing up from NXT.
The people.
So that's why I think he should come straight in, provide that spark. Oh no, a new face, straight to the WWE roster, and I think that would just build hype for it.
Are they going to know who he is, though? Right? A huge majority. I'd probably say, I don't want to go too high. Probably, let's say 70% of the IWC know his style. They love his work, right? The casual fan, the fan that only tunes in on Monday, right? He doesn't watch New Japan. He doesn't follow blogs. He doesn't follow anything else. He's never watched ROH in his life. Is AJ Styles that guaranteed pop? Or
Yeah,
is
I think
is
so.
Styles debuting and then Triple H coming out and taking him out the big pop? Like what do you do with Styles debuting? Like you just said, it doesn't happen very often. How do you do it?
What I think is going to happen is I think he's kind of going to be a hitman on a for the McMahon family. I think he's going to come in and try to screw Roman Reigns and kind of get right into that heavyweight picture immediately. Just my feeling, but I think that's the smartest way to do it. I don't think he should just come out and be like, "Oh, AJ Styles is here. Let's book him in a match against Stardust." I mean, that would be a complete fail.
So, is he going to be in the Rumble? Yes or no?
I don't think so.
Okay, so if he's not in the Rumble, when does he debut?
I think he debuts towards the end of the Rumble to try to screw Roman Reigns.
Okay, so not in the Rumble itself, but is involved with the Rumble, basically.
Yes, correct. Yeah, I don't think he'll be an entrant into the Rumble. I think he'll be there in some capacity to try to screw Reigns or
So his music could hit, but he's not the actual entrant. So number 30 pops, right? Everybody hears AJ Styles music. They fuck because everybody's the thing they've been throwing around on Twitter is Triple H is going to be 31. That's the rumor going around, right? So what if Styles comes out, but he's not an official entrant, and exactly like you just said, his job is to get out there. He lights up the crowd. Just him and Roman are left, right? He eliminates because you don't have to be in the Rumble to to eliminate somebody. There, if you get eliminated,
right.
you can come back in, and it's happened before where you get eliminated, right? So Styles comes out at 30. He's not actually number 30. They don't ever say it. They just say, "Oh my God, it's AJ Styles from New Japan." Like they're just popping for him. He comes out just like you said. He takes him out, and then Triple H's music hits. Triple H just walks to the ring, gets in. He's the winner. They hand him the title. He doesn't even do anything. And Styles, like just like you said, boom, hitman. He's just the guy. He took out Roman. That was Plan C, and he just hands him the belt. And then they two sweet each other, and that's that.
I think that's beautiful. I think it's great.
Because that's something everybody keeps saying he has to be in the Rumble. He doesn't have to be in the Rumble at all.
Yeah.
I don't
think he should be. I think if he's in the Rumble, it kind of waters him down a little bit because you're putting him in a ring with 30 other people.
What if he's number 2? What if
20 of them don't matter?
Yeah, that's true. What if he's number 2 and he lasts the whole time? And say he gets eliminated by his WrestleMania opponent? Because I think if he's in,
that's the best case scenario.
Yeah, if he's in early enough and like he's kind of like a CM Punk from number 2 to all the way to near the end and then gets eliminated or however, I think that does build some credibility so they can be like, oh man, this man's debuting and he's already lasted 50 minutes in the WWE. What else can he possibly do? From night 1, never having anything in the WWE to now lasting 50 minutes in the Royal Rumble. This man is amazing, and he doesn't even have to win it.
Yeah, I mean, if he's in the Rumble, that's how it should go down. But if he's not, I think the other way is how it should go down. I think he needs to come in with controversy to kind of get those people who don't know who he is kind of wondering about him. Wow, who is this guy? I mean, but the other thing about it is he has to show something off. He has to show that he can wrestle. And
to the fans that have never seen him, you meant. To the fans that have never seen him. Yeah. The people that have seen him know he's crazy and awesome, but the people that have never seen him, you're right. You just come out with his hair and his look, you look like a generic wrestler, right?
Right.
So you really do have to kind of go out there and hit those big spots. Is he does he have a big featured spot going into Mania? They paid $500,000 for this man. There's no way they're putting him in NXT. And if he does, I can't complain because they're going to do awesome stuff with Joe and Balor and all those guys. What if Finn finally makes his debut, Styles comes out right after, and like they're looking like they're going to form the Balor Club, and then he just throws Finn out. And then the real Balor, like he's like, fuck the Balor Club, Bullet Club for life. And he just kicked him out. Boom.
I don't know. The great thing about it, all the stuff we talked about are all great possibilities. So
I just opened the door because like what we have right now, like you said this before, there's 20-some guys in that Royal Rumble that mean nothing. There's no reason for them to. We have a pre-show match, fatal 4-way tag for 2 of the guys to get in. Talk about caring less about a match than putting in guys you know aren't going to win. Like if they put Daniel Bryan in a pre-show match, cold, I care about that because I want him in the match. I don't care about any of those 8 guys. You have Darren Young teaming up with who's Darren Young teaming up with? I have to look it up because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
And then you have the team of Swagger and Henry. I think they're doing.
Yeah.
So here we go. We have Darren Young and Sandow. Why? What happened to the primetime players? The Dudleys, the Ascension, Mark Henry, and Jack Swagger. All right, so there's 2 possibilities. Swagger's been getting a little bit of a little bit of a role lately, but the Dudleys. Do the Dudleys need to be in the Rumble?
I don't think so.
None of those guys do, right? Like, look at all those guys. Where is our interest as a fan? Like, they're booking really lazy. Like, because I have no love for either one of these guys. I really don't.
Yeah. I mean, I like the Dudleys as a tag team, but they shouldn't even be a part of the Rumble. You're right. I mean, they're just fillers basically.
All right. Do you think any of the people from other matches are going to be in the Rumble itself too? Because like right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 17 people so far. 2 from the kickoff. So we're going to have 19. So there's 11 entries they haven't announced yet. Or I think. No, SmackDown aired, so that would be total. So right now we don't have 11 people. So let's maybe say AJ Styles, Triple H possibly, 9 other guys. Who else is in the Rumble?
What's the other matches? I don't have that in front of me.
All right, we have Dean Ambrose taking on Kevin Owens, which I think it would be what would be awesome, and this is what I honestly hope happens, is either one of these men should go in and after a last man standing, they kick each other's ass for 20 to 25 minutes, and then one of them is in the Rumble for more than 40 minutes too. Like, it just, that puts somebody over. Like, I honestly do think that. Like, I think if they go out there.
Oh, yeah, that's a story. Yeah.
They're going to tear down the house. And then can you imagine the announcers? Like, he already went through a hellacious last man standing, 25 minutes, and he has now been out here longer than his match itself. Like they could pseudo that. They could make a big deal out of that. And I think that'd be really cool.
I think it should be Ambrose, because you could build the storyline of Ambrose, putting it all on the line to come out and help Reigns because he knows, Reigns was put in a corner being number 1 and having to hold his title. So
and then he throws him over for Triple H to walk out.
Right. I mean, there it is.
There's any kind of turns. That's what's kind of cool. A lot of people are saying this Royal Rumble is super predictable. You know who's gonna win. I don't. It could be. I think they're honestly doing this to get Roman out of the title picture. And if they do all of this, the only thing I would love to do if Roman retains is I want Triple H to come out 30 or 31 to get speared 10 times and then just eliminated. And then Vince McMahon's just on stage. Well, if Triple H can't get the job done, you know what I mean? Like and then he turns on Triple H and Triple H goes face and then Vince is I don't know. I'm kind of sick of the authority too.
Yeah, I've been fed up with that. I've been saying that for I don't know how long.
Because it's hard to hate Triple H when he's so fucking awesome with NXT. Like, right? Like, I think that honestly has to be a storyline. I think that would be cool. Like, I'm doing this with NXT, Vince. I'm killing it. Look at your ratings and look at mine.
Yeah.
That's gold right there. And that's not hard scripting. That's not hard stories. They're trying too hard. Who's your long shot for the Rumble? Who's the guy that has a very minute chance of winning but could do it?
I think Kevin Owens. I mean, if he's an entrant,
to face Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I think so.
Is that where is that where you'd want it to go? Like, where do you? Because I think right now the rumored matches for Mania are like Triple H and Roman, Brock versus either one of the Wyatt family. Most
Right,
probably Bray, although I would prefer it not to be Bray. I'd prefer
yep,
it to be Luke Harper. Um,
right.
so what? What's the guy? Who's the long?
Um,
If Kurt Owens is the
I
long
think
shot,
Owens. I mean, name out of the people on the current roster, not counting AJ Styles or anybody else, what match would you want to see? What match would be better, more appealing, just a brawling match than Lesnar versus Kevin Owens? Those two could put on a good, solid match.
I think Luke Harper could too. Though I mean, and I know nobody knows Luke Harper like that. I mean,
I like Luke Harper. He just hasn't had a chance. He's been
that's what
just
I'm
kind of
saying.
just
Like,
stuck in this dark corner, and
what if they turn on him? Like, I think it would be. I want the Wyatt family to turn on Bray so hard because like Jr. keeps saying this about Bray is money. They've got to make him face, right? I think Strowman and Harper and Rowan just kind of binding together, and like Bray's in the Rumble and he's pissed. Bray's just pushing him around, and finally Braun just looks at him and just fucking clubs him.
yeah,
And then just takes him out. And then, I mean, you could set something up like that, but like you said, there's nobody else. I mean, I'm looking at this. Anybody from the New Day versus Brock? No. We've already seen Kofi versus Brock. You have Chris Jericho, and don't care about that. Dolph. I think Dolph versus Brock would be cool, but it's not the big draw you'd want it to be.
right,
Looking at this Rumble list, there's nobody. Unless you want to see
yeah.
Big Show versus Brock Lesnar again, which I might want to see. I mean, we don't know if it's been decisive enough in the past.
Yeah, I mean, just the people on the roster right now, for my money, a title match I would want to see would be Kevin Owens versus Brock Lesnar.
I think so. I really do. I think that would make sense. Actually, no, I lie. There's one match I'd want to see more than anything. Owens versus
What
Sami Zayn.
that would be good.
That'd be good.
But
Get the hell out of here. Do you know how awesome the video packages would be? For the fact that they
what
bring back all
are
the
you
storytelling.
are you wearing that out too early? They're both young. They've only
Yeah,
been in the
they definitely
WWE
could
for
hold that.
a
They
little
could
over a year, and you don't want that to turn
to
into
like
get too
Cena versus
stale.
Orton, like Cena Orton or something like
Correct.
that.
Yeah, just come back to that in another 2 or 3 years.
All right, I don't know about 2 or 3 years, but I definitely think you could give it some time, let them kind of do their thing. What's the match that is kind of getting shopped around that you absolutely don't want?
Ugh.
What's the match that what's the one match you think the WWE is going to put on that you're like, nope, I'm not having it.
I don't care about the Triple H and Roman Reigns match. I mean, I'm not a Reigns guy, man. I just
It's
don't see
Brian
it.
2.0. It
I
really
can't buy
is.
into it.
It's like they're trying to do everything that Daniel Bryan did 2 years ago and replicate it with a guy that we don't like to try to get him over.
Right.
And I'll give Reigns credit. He has gotten a lot better, but he's still just. I think at a certain point we have to just kind of let him do his thing, and it's up to us just whether or not to watch or not, or make that decision. But he's clicking with a lot of people in the arena, though. For as many
Yeah.
people as we complain, he really does connect with a lot of people. And I think that's what's got to make it hard. Like, if the company constantly hears everybody complain on Twitter, but his merch is selling good, the shows that he's headlining are selling out or selling very well, what do you use as an indicator between what's kayfabe heat and what's just everybody hates this guy, we're booing him?
Let's look at it from a fan perspective and a demographic of people who just tune in on Mondays, don't get into the weeds of the IWC, and what other face now that since Daniel Bryan's been out, do those fans have to root for? I mean, who can they get behind? And there's nobody. And
Brock
actually, the
Lesnar. Brock
WWE has
Lesnar has
been
became that
feeding
face.
them.
Yeah,
The
Brock.
WWE has been feeding them Roman Reigns, so that's the guy they're going to be behind because they're just a casual fan. They're like, oh, this is a good guy. This is a bad guy. We like the good guy.
Because he's
And I
constantly
think
getting
that's it.
pushed down. He's constantly getting, put back in a corner, which, I kind of agree with. It's like I was so disappointed with that one versus all match. I thought that
Yeah.
would have been really creative. And then they just did. I mean, it was awesome to see Owens and them beat the hell out of each other. But I could have thought they would have done more with the concept. It's like, at what point do you constantly keep throwing so much at him to either him to turn heel, which, I mean, I think if he does, everybody keeps comparing him to Cena. If they nip that in the bud right now and put him heel, that's something that Cena hasn't done. I mean, granted, he was heel with a Shield, but I don't count that because he was a group.
Right.
Is it going to be shocking if he goes heel on somebody like Dean? I would love to see, to be honest with you, a Dean versus Roman feud. I think if he comes out and then Dean realizes it's his opportunity and he eliminates him, and then everybody thinks Dean wins, and then Triple H comes out and takes out Dean or something like that, where I think you use the Royal Rumble as a shot to either make Roman, like, you either hedge everything and you bet the house on him and say, he's our guy, fuck everybody, we're going with him. Or else you kind of pull back and realize, all right, we have other options. Let's pull the trigger on him. Do you think they're too far to take it away from Roman? Or do you think they've done this specifically for Roman to eventually overcome it? Because he's already champion. It's not like they kept stripping the title away with Bryan, and Bryan finally got that moment. He's had the belt now. So what more is there left for him to accomplish to get over it? Is it constantly just him beating everybody, becoming the John Cena, or what do we do?
I don't know. I've always felt like you just said before that they're building towards the heel turn for either for him or Ambrose. I'm not sure which one they're going to go with. I think the smart choice would be to go with Reigns because everybody already hates him anyway.
And people love Dean. Dean is over. Dean is great.
Yeah, he like you say, he's great, but I think that's what they've been building towards, is, they're brothers, best friends, this and that. And, I think that's eventually going to happen. I don't know when the right time to do it is. Maybe Roman turns on Dean and screws Dean, but Dean still gets over on him and eliminates him. I don't know.
I think, if Dean went heel, I think this would be kind of funny, is in the moves that he does. When he goes to do that from the second rope, he could pop in to come back for that clothesline and instead stop, flick them off, and like low blow them.
Yeah.
Just do something like I'd love to see a Dean Ambrose heel style. I really would.
Yeah, I would too.
He does all the fan favorite stuff. Yeah, I mean, the only stuff that I ever saw that he was kind of heelish, and I wouldn't say heelish as so much as fucking crazy, was his CZW stuff. And that was just him being fucking nuts with all the crazy tax and everything that he used to do. So I would love to see a heel style. Like you said, there's nobody on this roster right now that's a face. Does somebody in this Royal Rumble go from being heel to the next face? Is this a turn for somebody? Is somebody going good?
I don't know who it could be. I don't.
Because the League of Nations, you're not going to break them up this fast. Maybe you will, maybe you won't.
They should. I mean, I think it's horrible. I mean, I don't think there's any kind of good that could come out of the League of Nations. I think it's just awful.
When Sheamus had the title, I was all for it. Because it's him having a posse of people to protect him. And they could even do that. You know what I mean? Like, you had an opportunity with that group to say, all right, we've got this guy as a champion, this guy's a champion, and no, Sheamus just loses it. So,
right, I mean, if they did it right, it would be good, but it's just generically booked. It's awfully booked.
Just like a lot of the TV, like NXT, like you sit down and watch, like with Sasha and Bayley. They went to the main roster. I finally want my shot. She takes the shot. She wins. She gets over with the match. And this is something, do you listen to Vince Russo? I'm sure people listening to this are probably going to be flip-flopping both sides. Either have the guy that made WWE or the guy that wrecked WWE and then messed with TNA. What are your thoughts on Vince? You like him or you don't like him?
I really haven't followed him in a long time. I don't listen to his podcast or anything like that.
Okay, so you're not really keeping up with him.
WCW days, I loved him.
Yeah, except for when he brought in David and gave him the title, right?
Right. That was all.
So he's been talking lately and, talking like the 50-50 booking. And, one of the things that he said that really resonated with me on Monday was at the end of the show, Brock Lesnar F5's the crap out of Roman, right? And he said, you've got to have good booking for him to follow up on the next show. What is the first thing he does on Monday? He calls out Brock. Exactly what he should have done. But the rest of the show is never booked like that. And I think part of that is because they're putting so many of the baskets in Roman's corner. Like you're spending so much of the show making Roman get over. None of these other guys have. Can you name, besides Dean and Kevin Owens, can you name anything memorable?
No. It's just all just the same stuff over and over, rehashed every week. I mean, how many times are we going to see the same matches? It's been horrible booking.
All right, and that's the other thing he brought up is they're putting on great matches on TV. The ratings aren't good with the IWC matches, the stuff that we want. We said a year ago, just put on fantastic matches on TV, and they haven't been doing all that often. I'll give you that, but give us these awesome matches, and it'll write itself. They go out there, they give us these awesome matches, ratings are still down. At what point, and this is what Vince brought up, and he talks about, he's like, it is a wrestling show, but you cannot only have wrestling. You can't only have great matches that span 3 commercial breaks. Because none of these guys are getting over. Roman has killed everything. There has been pretty much no character development, other than I'll give you Becky Lynch and Charlotte, which I think is just Rusev and Cena with Lana accepting and reversal with being friends. But I mean, honestly, right. Which I made a video about that, which you can watch on my channel. I honestly think, like, besides those storylines, there's nothing, man. The New Day, even the New Day now, like, I love the New Day to death. But the way they're putting them out the ringer, like, I don't know.
It's the same stuff over and over with the New Day as well. They come out, they dance, they say goofy stuff. They're
and I love them. I don't take that away from them. I don't take that away from them because I love them.
Right.
But
incorporate it differently though. That's their thing, yeah. But just don't make it the same exact thing.
Did you like the trumpet?
The same people every single week.
Did you like the trumpet? The death of the trumpet. You didn't like that? I think a casual fan would have a very hard time with that. You tune in and they're having a wake or mourning for a trumpet. Like, I think there's a disconnect with fans there. As much as I love the New Day, as much as I pop and Big E is the greatest guy in the world to follow on Twitter. Just today, WWE tweeted, "Does anybody have a nicer drop kick than Dolph Ziggler?" And he said, "Okada." And I was like, dang, that's what's up. Oh, I forgot about Okada, too. With Okada over there, there's a lot of guys still over in New Japan. With the other guys coming in, we now have Doc Gallows. Tonga stayed. Some of the guys stayed. Rocky Romero we didn't get. But with Doc and Carl Anderson coming in, do you think they come in as a group, or do they go singles run?
I think they come in as a group. I think that's where their strength is. I mean, there hasn't been a really strong, good faction since the Shield that people got behind. I mean, the New Day, can you really call them a faction?
They're just a hilarious group of entertainment.
Right, exactly. They need a faction to just come in, kick people's ass, and then go backstage. You know what I mean? And they haven't had that since, I don't know when. I mean, just come out, pick a fight with somebody, beat the shit out of somebody.
And they're just there for the check. They just come out. I think that's what you brought up, and you said, AJ Styles is heavy. They had the Shield in the past. They had kind of the Wyatt family as their heavy. I think it would be great to have AJ Styles literally, and I think people may think I'm crazy for this, but the rumors are out there that you paid him an exorbitant amount of money, right? I think, as much as I would love to have him on TV every week, I think AJ could get burnt out a little bit. I would love to see them, Triple H, just have him be his personal faction. Yeah. And like you said, come and go when they want. Yeah. Like, they're just there. Like, hey, boss, you pay me the big bucks. I'll do whatever you want, man. And, like, you're paying me $500. I don't care. Like, and then, like, he's just there, doing his Bullet Club thing, coming in, destroying when you want. And then you're always wondering when they're going to come. Because if they come in and destroy, and then every single week on Raw and SmackDown they're doing it, they could get burnt out. But if you work it smart as a faction, I think Jim Ross, or I don't know who else said it, they thought that Doc and Carl would go to NXT and AJ would come to main roster.
What do you think about this? What about, I don't know, it's just kind of popped in my head, but even keeping AJ away from Reigns, what if Heyman turns on Lesnar, and Heyman's the one behind the Balor Club, and Heyman is the face and the mic for Styles and Balor and Gallows and Anderson. I think that'd be a pretty cool storyline.
Yeah, I didn't think about Paul, which I think that would be kind of interesting. I thought somebody would kind of be controlling the group, where we'd find out that they were kind of a part of it, somebody from the inside. And I had kind of thought about it being Triple H. I never thought about Paul, but that would be kind of cool. Like he kind of realizes Brock's on a dying ship. He gets taken down. He's like, throw him to the wolves, and then the Baylor Club comes out and takes him out. To be honest with you, the one thing I want more than anything, and like we said, Finn's wrapped up in NXT for a while because he's still got it. I mean, he could still debut on TV. Don't get me wrong. He could still drop the title, but I think it would be just awesome if he comes out. Finn debuts, AJ comes out. You think they're gonna they're too sweet each other, and then Styles comes out, kicks him out, and then they're just like, "You left without us. You left the Bullet Club in New Japan. We're not part of the Baylor Club." You know what I mean? Like you ditched us, and then we're coming for retribution, and then they go after all the guys that got signed first. I don't think there's a right and wrong. I mean, honestly, there's right and wrong ways to book them. But for us fans, just sit here, they should do this or that. I just want it to happen, man.
Yeah. And it looks like it's going to in 2 days.
2 days, Royal Rumble coming to you live January 24th in Orlando. I wanted to go. And I think I tweeted you. I had sent you some messages. I was looking at flights. It looked affordable. But those damn underage fees for rental cars. I wasn't able to get down there with Gimmick Street with Grimm's Toy Show. Would you pay to go see the Royal Rumble, honestly?
Yes, I would. I mean, there's 2 events every year that I would pay premium for, and that's the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. Those are like my 2 that I would pay more for. SummerSlam is up there too. It's probably number 3 for me, but WrestleMania 1, Royal Rumble 2, those are the top 2 events for me.
Money in the Bank's not up there?
No, not really.
See, for me, Money in the Bank.
It's top 5, but I don't know. Just the Royal Rumble, there's always that element of surprise. There's always been that element of surprise. We're seeing something different happening.
Except for the last 2 years.
Yes.
Speaking of something new, that's what I was just going to bring this up with the New Day, right? They're kind of heels, right? Kofi's crazy spots were when he was face. Can he do crazy spots when he's full-on heel? Like, because the crowd will cheer him. Wouldn't he be better off, like, trying to do him, like, no, you're not going to cheer me, and then he just gets up and fails the spot, and he loses his mind? Like, people don't think about that, but that's a little kind of a wrestling psychology type thing. If you go out there and you do the crazy spot and you get a crowd to pop, that's not what you want as a heel. So does Kofi have the big spot? What's his big spot this year? That's honestly what we should do.
Whatever it is, he's going to try to top what he did. What was it last year? He landed. Was last year the on the barricade?
Oh my God! Let's see. Remember, we had the one year, 2012, the one with the red and orange and black apron was the handstand. I remember that year.
Yeah.
The other year was the getting caught. I think he got caught last year. Did he get caught? What was Kofi?
The one year he jumped to the barricade and it kind of straddled the barricade and then jumped back to the steps. I thought that was last year for some reason.
All right, I'm gonna look this up right now. No, it was the Rosebuds last year.
It was which one?
He was the Rosebuds. He got saved.
Yeah,
he got saved by the Rosebuds.
Yeah.
So I think this year is one of the years, like you said, that I may actually pay for the Rumble, because the last 2 years I wouldn't have paid for the Rumble. Like, we're looking at this list of superstars right now of 20 people and going, all right, there's nobody that can be champion, but there's 10 people that haven't been announced. Every other year we've looked at that list and going, okay, Roman, Brock, Batista, or whoever have been in it. I think there is quite a bit of element of surprise, and I think come this Sunday, we're going to be surprised. What's the biggest shocker to you? Like, Kevin Owens is kind of like your underdog. You would love to see him win. But what is the one move that they pull that just has you losing your mind? What is it? Like, just if you had to book this pay-per-view and that just left you going, I have to watch Monday Night Raw. I have to tune in 7 p.m. on USA. What's the spot that draws that money? Because if people already hate the Authority and he wins the title, are people going to want to watch it and tune into the guy they already hate?
I think Styles winning the Rumble and winning the belt day one.
And they're just like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, comes in day one, wins the belt. I think that would be the biggest shock value. People would just be like, "What?" And then they would definitely be like,
What
"Okay,
if
I got to
Triple
watch
H's
and
what
find
if
out who this guy is."
what if Triple H's music hits? He comes out to introduce Styles. And then Styles beats Roman. They have the rematch at Fastlane. Roman keeps giving Triple H shit. Triple H versus Roman still happens. AJ versus whoever happens. I think that could work, honestly, coming in day one. Because then at the Fastlane pay-per-view, Roman, after losing his title at the Rumble, could come to Triple H on Monday like, this is bull. AJ, you were supposed to, he could throw a fit, do whatever he has to do. And then Triple H could cost him at Fastlane, and then we still get that match. There's no title on the line. It frees the title up. I think that's a good idea. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if Vince is ballsy enough to give AJ Styles the title. You mean the guy that just had a contract with TNA in December? We're gonna give him our belt?
right. Yeah, I think that would draw a lot of heat. Be a lot of ammunition for Reigns to use. You have all these guys in the back who bust their ass for this brand every single day. You bring this guy in day one, and you
Who's just getting paid the big bucks
to.
Yeah, exactly. Who's protected? And I think that would be cool. To be honest with you, like I know a lot of people want Styles on TV every week, wrestling every week. I don't. I would love for AJ to come in night one, win the title, and then just not show up the next night and send in a video package of him and the Baylor clubs or him and the Bullet Club just celebrating it out drinking and like taking the belt to TNA or like being outside the headquarters or just doing crazy stuff that gets people talking. Because I think if you want to get somebody talking, you have a guy that just debuted, won the Rumble, and then he's not even at your Monday show. What the hell happened to the title?
What about this setup? So that happens, as Styles screws over Reigns and wins, the Balor Club gets built up, and Rollins comes back into the picture in SummerSlam, reforms the Shield against Bullet Club, Balor Club, whatever you want to call it.
See, there's a lot of routes they can go to with factions.
Yeah.
They really could. Because then what you could have is exactly like you just said. Triple H got screwed over by Roman. Roman got screwed over by Triple H. Seth Rollins kind of did. Even though he said he was going to come back bigger and stronger, you could have Dean get screwed, and they finally just get to their breaking point. Absolutely. I think that would be. I think a lot of people would hate a 6-man at SummerSlam, but I think it would be. Yeah. I could dig that 100%.
Yep.
There's so many possibilities that bringing in these guys have, and I think the biggest thing that you mention all the time is overexposure. And so AJ Styles is fresh to the WWE, but I don't think he needs to be on TV every single night, wrestling matches every single night. I think a good way to do it would be to protect him, have a group, let him kind of come and go, and just him winning the title would be a shocker.
Yeah, I think that'd be the biggest thing.
I don't think Vince would do it, but I think that would be huge.
So it's let's say it's 10:45 Sunday night. There's 4 people left in the Rumble. Who do you think they are?
Final 4. Okay.
Final 4.
Dean, Roman. Because I honestly think Dean capitalizing on a chance to eliminate Roman, only to have Triple H come out or somebody, something like that. Just to, Dean is the guy. I think it would be Triple H, Dean, Roman, and you usually try to get a younger guy up there near the end. So I'd probably say Owens. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at this list of people, and there's just not guys I want. Unless you're talking about just being the number 29 guy and you're automatically 4, but I'm assuming there's going to be 10 guys left, and they're going to throw everybody out.
See, what I was kind of getting at with that is I think Bryan is going to come back Sunday.
Okay. That's something we haven't brought up yet. So,
but I think he'll last towards the end, but there has to be that right mix of heel and face towards the end. WWE, they always try to make, 3 heels, 1 face remaining, or however they do it, or unless they're going to have a swerve or somebody screw somebody, they'll have more faces, so I don't know.
How do you do it with Bryan then? Because you just brought him up for the first time. We haven't touched on it at all. How do you introduce Daniel Bryan back to the WWE? Or he doesn't even need an introduction. He could literally just show up. People would lose their shit. Do you think he finally gets the number 30 spot and then gets eliminated? I would be fine with that. I would 100% be fine with Daniel Bryan coming back at number 30 just to not win.
Yeah.
To be honest
I
with
can
you.
see that happening.
I would.
Reintroduces him and...
Because to be honest with you, as much as I want Daniel Bryan to come in day one, every time he's gotten the belt, he gets hurt. Yeah. And that's coming from a place of love. I would love Bryan to be Seth Rollins and hold the title for, as long as he did and go on to just have this magical thing and change the WWE. But part of me does get worried that he's injured. And if they throw him into a huge storyline on Sunday, that could be a problem. So I think him coming out just to getting the people behind him first, kind of feeling things out, I would be okay with that. I would love to see my dream match at Mania would be Sammy, Kevin Owens, and then Bryan, Brock Lesnar. That's what I would want to see. They would tear down the house. Punk versus Brock, I saw that match live. It tore down the fucking house. Bryan versus Lesnar. I said Punk versus Lesnar, right? Yeah, Punk versus Lesnar. I think Bryan Lesnar would be the match. But I think with his neck and his concussion, I don't think they pull the trigger on Brock versus Bryan. I really don't. But if they did,
moveset,
but if they did,
I don't think you know that.
This is honestly the thing that I just literally thought about right now. If Daniel Bryan's coming to the end of his career, right, and you watch on Total Divas and all this fake crap drama, and I don't know if you watch Total Divas, but it's getting so soap opera-ish. But if he comes out there and you book that storyline, right, Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar at Mania, even if he gets hurt, you're not putting the belt on him. If Bryan gets hurt in that match and Brock has to finish him off, Brock Lesnar finished and ended the career of your hero, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
And that gives back to that's just like Taker losing to Brock to put him over. I think that would refresh him a little bit because Brock is at the point where we're supposed to hate him, but Suplex City is so goddamn cool.
Yeah, and that's why I was thinking about the Heyman turn on him thing,
just to get him. So when he turns on him as the babyface, then so now we fully love him, and then he Suplex Cities everybody.
Yeah, basically. And then he, when I was talking about the factions coming out and just kicking people's ass, well, now you got a pissed off, face Brock Lesnar that just comes out and clears fucking rings and destroys people, takes over the ring, takes the mic. I want so-and-so, you know what I mean?
Get your ass out here. They run down one at a time. Suplexed. Yeah. Next guy. Suplex. Next guy. And he's just got 15 guys. Like, that's what they would do for Roman. You should do for Brock.
Yeah. Exactly.
A face Brock Lesnar is the thing. Because I would consider him face now. He's so over with fans. Suplex City is the thing. It's the knees bees, man. It really is.
And the crazy thing about Brock is Brock don't need a mic. He just has that look, that intensity. He doesn't have to say a word to get him over because you look at a fucking guy and you're like, oh my God, he's going to kill me. So he don't have to say I'm going to kill you.
That's honestly, he could just come out to the ring, grab a mic. Somebody just runs out trying to ambush him, suplex, walks out. That's his statement for the night. It's just him suplexing somebody. He brings somebody to the ring. He goes to grab a mic. This is fuck it, suplex. And that's it. That's Brock. That he, like I said, I think you could get away with him not having Paul Heyman now.
Yeah, because that's all he has to do. You look at the guy, you're scared to death. I mean, he don't have to say a word.
Suplex City's gonna run wild. How many suplexes are we gonna get in the Rumble? This is something I was gonna have. I was gonna have a suplex Royal Rumble drinking game.
That's nice.
What? How many suplexes are we getting? Is everybody in the Rumble getting suplexed by Brock Lesnar, or does Brock not? You think he's going to come out late? Do you think they save Brock?
I bet he comes out probably
20s,
25th-ish.
What's the over under on 25? What's the spread?
I don't know. What do you think?
I'd give it a 4 spread. I think it's within 21 to 30. I think that. Any sooner, I would do it just so he can get his suplexes in. Like, honestly, I would have him do that just to watch every guy come out. Brock's in the corner because, every new guy comes out and does a move. I would just love to see the new guy try to come out and do a move. Nope, suplex. Just nothing. No guy can get any offense in. It's just Brock wanting the damn title.
Brock just no sells everybody and just suplex them.
Yeah, they'll come in and all the 10 guys that are in the ring sell the guy's drop kick or move or whatever, and then Brock just looks at him, like flips him off or does something, and then just suplexes him. Brock just isn't phased at all. He's just sitting there. He's just chilling out. I think that would be cool. Any chance Vince McMahon gets involved?
I think
you think he's coming out? See Vince McMahon strutting down the Royal Rumble, man, showing off his jacked. I mean, if you saw him on the cover of Muscle and Fitness, this dude is jacked. He could legitimately
70 years old. He's I don't get it.
Yeah, he could come out and you could believe he's a wrestler that could kick somebody's ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if somebody was walking behind Vince McMahon
without a suit on,
his face, they would think he was like, a 40-year-old fucking musclehead. You know what I mean?
Yeah. People always say that like he's not jacked. Like he's wearing a suit all the time. Like if you see him with like a tank top or something on, like this dude is just ripped. He's got more muscles than I think half of the guys at the gym in my town do, and he's 70. Like that is just a dedication to everything that is. As much as you love or hate him for what he thinks, it's like he lives the lifestyle. He only hires big muscular dudes, and this dude is jacked himself. What's a guy that could get hurt from the Royal Rumble? Potential, not hurt as in like physically, hurt as in it could screw over any push they've gotten. Keeping in mind that out of the 20 guys, only one has a push right now.
I think Ambrose could, be hurt, if he loses to Owens and then goes out and doesn't have a good showing at the Rumble and just gets eliminated without being a part of any kind of storyline. I think that kind of pushes him down.
Do you think they would do that with as over as he is? They've messed up. And I don't want to say they can't because they messed up when they didn't put Bryan in the Rumble. So people that are saying they've learned the mistakes, I think they could make another mistake. Would that be one of them? Do you think they could overlook that instead of just looking at it as, well, he competed in a 25-man match, he gave it his best shot, but he got eliminated?
Well, I don't think they would go that far as to explain that, and sometimes things like that have to be explained. So I think it would kind of just take one of your biggest, best guys and just kind of push them back if there's nothing really there. If he's not a part of storyline, he loses his singles match, and then he's not really a part of the Rumble. I think that hurts him.
I would love to see Owens and Ambrose both in there, and then they just continue to beat the shit out of each other. Yeah, it just goes to a double pin, and then they come out and they just keep the match going. It's just in the Rumble, and it never finishes. Oh my gosh, dude! What if that actually happened? Right? So they're in the match right before the Rumble, but they've beat the shit out of each other. They end up boarding a bus by accident, beating the shit out of each other. The bus leaves, right? We have no idea what's going on. We're like, it's a last man standing. They could be competing forever. They have a camera crew that follows them around. They're running around Orlando, going to all the big spots. They finally come back, and they're in the Rumble, beating the shit out of each other. They're just doing that crazy stuff. 'Cause I missed that from WWE. That was the WCW thing, WWE, just getting out of the arena.
Yeah.
Just going out into the town. We don't have that anymore. I would love to see them just leave, and we have no idea what's going on. And they're like, well, I guess it's time for the Royal Rumble.
And Dean's the only one that's done that in the past year, 2 years, or whatever.
What?
I said Dean's the only one that's done that in the last couple of years, leave the arena.
Yeah, he really has.
With the hot dog cart, and he was seen around town with with Rollins' belt at one time.
Yeah, so I definitely think something like that would be cool. They just continue to beat the hell out of each other. We don't get a resolution to it. And then in the Rumble, something happens.
That would be good.
Any chance of a diva in the Rumble?
Oh, boy.
It happened with Karma before. It happened with Karma before.
Awesome Kong.
Beth Phoenix.
She makes a return from TNA.
Yeah, she just... you got to have her and then Deanna or whoever the one that's making all the rounds to WWE TNA.
Awesome Kong comes with AJ Styles.
It's just a full-on TNA invasion. You know what they could have, and I think it would be TNA hilarious? Invasion. They just come in, they're like, what's up? We are TNA Light. You just something like just have a playoff at TNA, and like they're pretending to invade WWE as TNA, and they realize, wait, nobody gives a shit who we are or the company we represent. All right, we'll just sign. Never mind. And then they just do a play on that. I don't know. That's the cool thing, man. We're talking about this. We're throwing rumors, speculation, all this out there. But the only thing that really matters is come this Sunday, January 24th, anything can happen. And isn't that what you want as a wrestling fan? You just want the unpredictability. I don't care what happens as long as it's something that entertains me.
I agree 100%. Just make it fun. That's all it has to be, is fun and unpredictable.
Fun, unpredictable, coming to you live this Sunday, Orlando, Florida.
Sunday,
You want to fly down there?
Sunday.
You want to fly down there last minute? Let's go. My flight's only $900. Let's get on a plane to watch the biggest disappointment of them spending $500,000 to have AJ Styles come out at number 2 to get speared by Roman and eliminated.
What's the thing you hate about Roman Reigns the most?
What's one thing I hate about Roman Reigns the most?
Yeah.
Had they done it right, Roman could have been a fucking big deal.
Like, just like a little thing that drives me crazy is like when he does his Hulk Hogan thing and he shakes.
Yeah.
It just looks so fake, and I just hate it. It just looks so goofy and fake. I'm like, what are you doing? This looks dumb.
That and I don't know if this makes me sound like I'm looking for a dude in trunks here, but his look, I just hate the goddamn vest.
Yeah.
I think part of it kind of plays to his character. They're like, yeah, Superman, he's got the protection, whatever, fine, whatever. But part of me just wishes he would wear, it doesn't have to be wrestling trunks, but part of me has always wanted him just to lose the vest. I don't know why. It's too superhero-y for me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, it's just like a big piece of plastic or something. It just looks, I don't know. I'm with you on that. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just silly.
It is. And especially, like, somebody had said, Owens wearing a T-shirt was silly. And I'm just like, bro, watch him wrestle. I had a friend that he came in and he's like, is this dude about to wrestle with his T-shirt on? I'm like, yeah, he's about to blow your mind. He's like, no, he's not. The match was over. I think that was that was an idea. That was Timmy. Timmy was like, who the hell is this Owens guy? Who the hell is this guy? I don't give a shit. I want Cena to win. And then he does it. And then I freaked out and ran out and made a video. And Timmy's like, the dude with a shirt can wrestle. Okay. And it took him by surprise. I don't get that from Roman because obviously, you know he is. Do you think he has to add some more moves in, man?
I mean,
or is he going to fall in?
Help.
Is he going to fall into the trap of Cena, where it's just that's his thing? He's going to Hulk up, do the Iron Man, the Superman punch, the spear. Does he need a new finisher too to go along with the spear, something else, or is the spear enough of a out of nowhere thing for him?
Man, I don't think it has anything to do with his moveset. I think it's just him. He's just stale. You know what I mean? No mic skills, no hype. It's just he's just stale. He's like that. I don't know. I can't explain it.
And isn't it the sad thing that they want him to be the top guy, and the stuff that they want is what's making people hate him? Because I honestly thought, like, when the Shield broke up, Roman Reigns had potential to be money. Screwing over Bryan and the Batista thing, it just kind of wrecked. Like, that's the crazy thing about Roman. The one year we did not want Roman to win the Rumble. The very next year, was it the year before or after? Then we wanted him to win because we were all like, fuck Batista. And now that he is the guy, we're like, oh, fuck him even more. We don't like him. Did they ever get it right with Roman?
I don't know. I don't know what could be done. I mean, I think a heel turn would help him, but I think that's about it.
And then we'll find out.
I don't know what else could help him
on Sunday. That's it. You kind of beat the horse into a barrel. We talked about it, what he can or cannot do. Now we just got to wait. We got to sit back, relax, crack open a beer. Well, okay, maybe we're not drinking all the time. I think this Sunday, though, I'm going to have to drink every time. Do we have a keyword every time something's said? Do we need to have... I talked about a Suplex City drinking game, but is there a keyword from Michael Cole that you think will be used in the Rumble more than anything?
Screwed.
Screwed. Surprise.
Surprise, yeah.
Trying to think, what other buzzwords could there be? Oh, if I could say there's one thing that I'm so pissed about the Royal Rumble more than anything, Could you guess what it is? If you had a guess leading up to the Rumble, not the Rumble itself, from anything on TV up to the Rumble, what's the one thing you think that pissed me off the absolute most as it pertains to the build up to the Rumble? Could you guess it? I tweeted about it and I kind of went off about it.
Shit, let me think.
And it's not a superstar. It's not anything else. It's something with promoting the Rumble itself. Why was Byron Saxton the number guy? If you watch those videos, those Royal Rumble hype videos every year with that lady that does it, gets me so hyped. And then this year, Byron Saxton does it. And it was horrible. And I don't know if people know what I'm talking about. I'm going to play a clip here from the Royal Rumble, from the numbers video, from the numbers. Take a listen to her and tell me that Byron's not worse.
Anticipation of the amazing.
Edge is going to WrestleMania!
Unvarying in unpredictability and the epitome of excitement.
Welcome to the Royal Rumble!
For over a quarter century, it has shown us how to defy the odds. 30 superstars.
All right, so there's 30 superstars. That's this year's, all right? Now it was 2013. So now let's take a listen to 2016 and let me know if this...
The Royal Rumble, a WWE tradition since 1988. The rules are simple. 30 men, each trying to toss the other over the top rope. If your 2 feet hit the floor, your day is done. If you outlast your 29 opponents, your prize, a trip straight to the main event of WrestleMania. The Rumble is an event that holds an indescribable aura.
All right, not as bad as when I first listened to it on Raw, but definitely not as hype for me. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It just, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't have that, like, yes. That's what I want. I think if anybody could debut at the Rumble, I want it to be Greg Hamilton from NXT to announce it. I don't know if you watch Greg Hamilton or know or listen to him, but I love him on the announcing when he announces. I think that would be great. Who announces the Rumble? Eden or Lillian?
I think Lillian.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think she's
Has
like
she been announcing lately? I haven't heard.
Announcer.
I haven't heard her at all. Does she still announce?
I think
Am I not
so.
paying attention? Is it because I only ever hear Eden anymore? I don't even know who is the announcers on Smack. Like, what show does what now? This is how out of touch I am right now. SmackDown ring announcer. I'm gonna double check on this really quick because I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
because Eden does it now. Eden Styles made a pay-per-view debut as the backup ring announcer for Raw. Well, she was because Lillian was recovering. Is she back? That's what I was wondering because I know Lillian went away for a while. She did her music thing and was gone. I didn't know if she ever came back. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I don't know if she's back or not yet.
Is that bad to think?
Yeah, she is back. You know what? Because my son says that Lillian looks like my cousin, and I remember my son saying, "Hey, there's your cousin." It was just recently, so I'm pretty sure she's back.
Okay, yeah, I just wasn't paying attention. I don't know if that's bad that I'm not listening to the announcing. I don't even, the product is getting where I'm DVRing a lot, so I guess I miss that stuff. I'm sure somebody's going to flame me and say I'm not a real fan because I don't know. But honestly, that's one of the little things you miss because it's just not memorable. There's nothing that makes you go, Lillian's the announcer. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that kind of, with the Rumble, I think that kind of wraps it up. Talking about it, kind of figuring out. We just got to let it play out. We just got to sit back, relax. What's the match right before?
Isn't it Owens and?
That's what I want. That's not what could happen. Like, what? Because I'm looking at this card right now, and I think that's the only match you can put before it, unless you open the show. I think they could open the show with Owens versus Dean to let him rest up for the main event.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably a better idea. And plus,
or the New Day. The New Day would be good. Actually, Del Rio and Kalisto would be too, though. But didn't they start off the last pay-per-view?
Yes.
Now I'm kind of tossing over this. That now I'm thinking about this more than I am. Or last month was the New Day versus Usos. I don't remember. But yeah, that's something to think about too. What's going to open the show? And I think Ambrose versus Owens beating the hell out of each other would be cool. Or you let the Divas get some showcase. I don't know. That's just when you got to wait and tune in. Actually, something just popped up on my TV, SmackDown. I'm going to go ahead and give a big thumbs up to Morrow. If Morrow was calling the Rumble, oh my gosh.
That guy's so over right now. Everybody loves him.
I was so scared, man. This is a true story. I don't think he actually blocked me. I think it's one of those things. I don't know if it glitched out or did something, but it was showing as blocked. And I tweeted out on Monday. And I'm like, I've put this dude over so much. Like, I'm literally, Morrow, you were the greatest. You're this. Because I got blocked by Punk because I responded and stuck up for him. But I had, responded. And, you don't really know if somebody's sticking up where they're just a fucking douchebag. So you just proactively block them. And that's what happened. And I was so bummed when Punk blocked me. And I'm like, just because I loved reading his tweets, because I love CM Punk, man. I'm glad he's chasing his dreams. But just something as so simple as that, like not being able to see his Twitter in the digital age, was like, I was so bummed out. So to finally have a guy that I love and I'm cheering for on TV, and this dude blocked me on Twitter when I gave him all the praise in the world, and I tweet him and my fans start hitting him up and they're like, yo, Morrow, you got to unblock Tubby. And his response was priceless. His was, oh, this is a first world problem. I never blocked him. And I look, and then it let me refollow him. So I know he did by accident. Like, because the second somebody said it, he's like, oh. And his response was like, oh, yeah, such a first world problem that you're worried about me blocking you. But that's true. I was seriously disappointed that the guy that I was putting over and the guy that got me to watch SmackDown for the first time in 7 months blocked me on Twitter. That's the new digital age, man. And that's the thing that I was going to bring up before we got to this was vignettes are changing, man. Like, do you remember the Jericho one that we all thought it was something else, and then it was Jericho or The Undertaker? Now the vignette is John Cena posting a picture of Styles on Instagram.
Right, and the world loses its mind.
And the world loses its shit. So Are we in a new world where just WWE could tweet out an hour before, AJ Styles is in the building, and that's all the hype they need? Yeah, honestly, I think that's it. I think so. I think if come Sunday, if WWE's official account posts about AJ Styles at all, that would then get a pop from the Rumble. Because I think you have to give them a little heads up.
Because reports say AJ Styles in the building.
And then people are like, oh, who's AJ Styles, right? And then they look him up, and everybody's like, even if they've never heard of him, and even if, like, if you Google, you're not going to find AJ Styles versus this guy TNA. You're going to see all the dirt sheets reporting AJ Styles coming. And then as a fan, you're like, whoa, this has got to be a big deal, right? It's all over Google. It's all over every website. Even the casual fan then has some interest. If you're saying on Twitter AJ Styles is trending and you click on that, you're more excited for the Rumble. And all it took was a tweet.
Yep.
So I think that's what you got to do with Styles. I don't think you bring him out cold. I think if you tweet out the picture of Styles in the building, boom, that's something. I mean, as much as I want a surprise too, don't get me wrong. If his music hits, what theme song do you think he hits? Do you think he's already got a Jim Johnston original or a CFO song, or does he bring in one of his? What are you hearing?
I think he's just going to pop up. I don't know. I think he's just going to show up out of nowhere, jump out of the crowd, one of those things. If he's not in the Rumble. If he is in the Rumble, they'll probably have it all prepared. But if he's not in the Rumble, I think he just, comes out of the crowd or something like that happens.
I can imagine. I don't know if you've watched TNA, but he went through a phase when he was emo for a while in TNA. Yeah. And so he had black everything, and he was all like this. I could just imagine they're trying to tell Vince who he is. And instead of showing him like him versus Okada or him versus Daniel Bryan or him versus any of the other guys, they show him TNA footage of him playing an emo. And Vince is like, God damn it, this is who's going to be our champion. And he just loses his shit. And then
who is this guy?
Oh, my God. What? A storyline with, what was the girl? I can't think of her name now, with Dixie Carter and the chick that he was banging. Oh, my gosh. It's slipping my mind. It was the worst TV acting of all time. And I gave her shit about it for a year. Do you know what I'm talking about? The girl on TV that played his mistress or whatever?
No.
What is her name now? She was an actress. AJ Styles, TNA mistress. Or not mistress. What was it? I have to find this now. I really do. I'm so bummed out. AJ Styles pregnancy. TNA something that he came out with a baby. I have no idea. We're just gonna sit out. Claire Lynch. Claire Lynch. That's who it was. You don't remember Claire Lynch?
No.
Oh, you're missing out, dude. Primetime television. I want to ask you this before we go because I tweeted out about this. Do you have to give some credit to TNA for AJ Styles? Because a lot of people are quick to say, TNA only takes up our old scraps and they're taking out the nobodies that nobody wants. And for the most part, that's true. But the people in TNA, like when they signed Hogan and when Hogan wrecked TNA eventually, but when you sign Sting and all these other guys, and granted Sting's WCW, but you accredit them being in TNA because of the fact they came from WWE. That's why we had them. There is so much hate against people that just hate TNA that aren't willing to say, you know what, it's true that TNA mismanages these guys lately. That's the reason they're now in WWE. But them being on TNA is the reason that we care about them, right? Like, because nobody's willing to acknowledge that, at least from my tweet so far tonight, because people kind of backlashed and said TNA's failed. But obviously they did something right if we signed AJ Styles.
Now, was AJ Styles, did he become big because of storylines or because of his skills and abilities?
Either way, it doesn't matter. He had the TV time. I mean, I think that's one of the other things that somebody brought up tonight, and we went back and forth on it, was he's like, Pop TV, and they're on Pop, and they just came from the other network, and, they don't know what they're doing from Destination America. And I'm not talking about those days. I'm talking about Spike TV, 1 million plus.
Yeah.
I'm talking, sure, he left and then went to ROH and New Japan, and that's where AJ Styles has gotten super over. And I 100% get that. But it's like, it's so hard, even if you say, okay, TNA didn't make AJ Styles famous, but for 4 years, AJ Styles in TNA did some awesome stuff, whether it was TNA or him. You still then kind of go, well, I'm thankful for TNA.
Well, yeah, I mean,
most people aren't like that,
credit.
though. Yeah, it's just like with the guys that they signed, like Kurt Angle and Hulk Hogan. TNA wouldn't have wanted them if it wasn't for WWE. So you give TNA credit. You picked up our scraps and people look down upon that. But if it wasn't for each other's show, they wouldn't have a reason to sign them. It's like I keep saying we as in like I'm part of WWE or something, but WWE messed up with Derek Bateman, and that's the one character TNA pounced on, and they have killed it with EC3.
Right.
So,
but on the opposite end of that spectrum, on the WWE side, is Roman Reigns bad because WWE made Roman Reigns bad, or is Roman Reigns just bad?
That's a good question. That's a fair question to ask. I mean, I really.
You know what I mean? Like, if TNA could make AJ Styles good and great, on the opposite end, did WWE make Roman Reigns bad? So,
I think there is a part, and like I said, I'm not accrediting AJ Styles' success to anything but AJ Styles. Don't get me wrong. There's just this mindset that people are so wanting to see TNA go down the garbage, and like if TNA went down the garbage in its heyday, and AJ Styles never then went on to wrestle at New Japan, Wrestle Kingdom 10 and tear down the house, or all this other stuff. We don't know the what ifs of things. But if you talk to most pro wrestlers, like X-Pac and all these guys, even guys that work with WWE, they're thankful for TNA because it keeps people employed. Whether they're being pushed or not, they're still around. And I think that's something that's really hard. It's like Camacho went to TNA, and he's wrestling over there and doing his thing. Or not Camacho. No, Camacho's Sin Cara. What am I talking about?
yeah.
The other guy. Oh, what? Did I seriously just mess up him for Tyrus right now? I think I did. Brodus Clay.
Funkasaurus.
Yeah, Brodus Clay. Funkasaurus is over in TNA. So they are picking up the scraps. We're finally getting some of their big names.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't understand. Why do people hate it that much? If you don't like it, just don't like it. Don't watch it. Don't care for it. Why be like, oh, they suck, they need to fail? I mean, why wish somebody to fail? You know what I mean? If you don't like it, just don't like it. It's not your thing. Move on.
Yeah. We all know that, man. Wrestling's a fickle bitch. We all hate it, but we still tune in every week. And even if we DVR it, that's just the nature of the beast, right? I've never been in something so much in my life that every week I constantly complain about it. And it's like they taunt you. It's like WWE's like, all right, don't watch it, bitch. I dare you. And then you're like, but I just need it. I need that hit at WWE. You know what I mean?
Like I said earlier, it's like that job you hate. You bitch about it every single day, but you still go there.
And hopefully the breaking point's not coming up soon, because if they mess up the Rumble, they could really hurt their chances going into Mania. Like, if they pull the crap with, like, Rey Mysterio at 30, or, like, not Rey Mysterio, obviously, because he's signed, but if they pulled some crap like that and they completely messed it up 3 years in a row.
The thing about the last two WrestleManias, though, is I didn't have a lot of confidence going into WrestleMania just because the product wasn't too good or hot around that time. But those two WrestleManias were great.
And then it tore down the fucking house, right? Like, that's what's so hard about it. It's just, you know they're going to put on a show, but you just wish, had they put in a little extra effort before and had NXT quality storylines, the payoff would have been so much better.
Yes.
Because I popped so hard last year for Mania, like with the NWO and, in DX. I popped so hard. Hopefully they have those surprises out there. I would be fine with waiting for Bullet Club till Mania 2. That'd be fine with me.
Yeah, form it there. Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
I'd be fine with that. All right, any final thoughts on the Rumble? Anything you want to throw out there as something you think is going to happen that nobody's even thought of yet?
No, other than the stuff I already mentioned. I'm sticking to my guns where I don't think Styles will be in the Rumble. They'll show up to Screwjob Reigns. I really think, in my heart of hearts, I think Reigns is going to retain and win. But I don't know. I hope they surprise me.
Ballsy. Is that your prediction? Are you going with Roman Reigns to win the 2016 Royal Rumble and walk out as champion?
Yes, I think there's going to be an attempt at Screwjob, but I think he still holds on.
Till Mania, or does he lose it at Fastlane?
No, I think he goes to Mania.
Ed, you got to leave him with the teasers. You should have said find out next week. You got to leave him with that hook. Look at us. We're talking what WWE should do, and we can't even do it on our own podcast. Wrapping it up, Ed, WrestleCrate. When you get the box, you're already listening to it. Get them. Tell them a little bit about WrestleCrate, because obviously I get that box every month to my house. Stuff that, and I've popped for some of this stuff. Last month, we got a Kurt Angle autograph. Or this month. Kurt Angle. Do you know how hard I popped for that, man? He was my hero growing up. I started playing that theme song. The greatest money you can spend arriving at my door to celebrate. And then the T-shirt was just a bonus. It's just kicking it off. What can we look forward to coming up with WrestleCrate? What do we got coming up?
This month's crate is a solid crate. I think there's probably in the Ultimate Crate there's 8 or 9 items. It's a good
you're
mixture,
packing her.
good
Okay.
Stuff.
So you're making it like the Rumble. You're throwing in some surprises. You're going bigger and better than ever. Now we're past the deadline, right? So they're going to be looking at the February crate. But if there's some stuff in the crate that comes out now, right, and maybe there's some leftovers, where can they go to get some of that stuff? Because people that don't know, you could still get like the Sasha Banks original shirt from December, which was hands down one of my favorite shirts of all time. You can still get that. Where can they go to the store? Where can they pick up those stuff if some stuff's left over from the crates?
Go to WrestleCrate.com and in the menu bar, select shop and pick it up there.
Everything is there. I mean, there's people that you see people tweet like, "Hey man, I missed this month's crate," and then you tell them, "Yeah, but you can still get that," and they're like, "Dude," and they're priced so reasonable. Honestly, those shirts are.
I think I think we're doing the shirts for I think like $12 with like $4.
A $12 shirt. So, a $12 shirt.
All original, $12 shirt.
Okay, you know what? You're blowing my mind here. $12. Like I when I pay for a T-shirt, I'm a big guy though. I was paying like $40 for a T-shirt. I was just gonna bust out a Macklemore song. So save the money. Don't pay full price. Head over, check it out, WrestleCrate.com. Go to the shop. Any other big things you got kind of coming up in the pipe works? Anything? I know you guys can check out the original content. You got some content flowing. Kid Cadet, who you'll be hearing on the podcast, runs a great channel over there. You guys can submit your unboxing. So if you unbox the stuff right, you feature them. You feature people's submissions. How can they go about that?
Info at WrestleCrate.com, and we'll feature it on our channel. We have a fan unboxing section. and we'll put it up for you. Put all your information on there, all your social media handles and that, and get you some a little exposure.
Awesome. Exposure for showing off those goodies coming in the crates. Find out more about WrestleCrate, WrestleCrate.com if you want to start your subscription. I was going to say something, but I just realized I probably shouldn't.
Use code Tubby.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say that. I was holding back because I know we talked about this. I'm trying to self-promote my own code right here. I was a little nervous about that, but thank you. I thought you were going to bury me and say somebody else. You were just going to do the ultimate screw job like at Royal Rumble. I thought you were going to pull the Vince McMahon or Triple H.
That will save you 11.5%.
Oh, see, that's what I was talking about. I was waiting for that burial. I knew there was something. I'm Finn Balor, AJ Styles. I just debuted. I got taken out by the 11.5%. Check it out, Tubby. Say it's 10% WrestleCrate.com. Until next time, Ed, thank you very much for stopping by. I think next week we're going to have a special guest. We're going to talk to some other people. We're going to talk Raw. We're going to talk Royal Rumble. We're going to break it down. And that kind of wraps it up. So until next time, you can follow at WrestleCrates. I'm at Tubby Emo on Twitter. And until next time, I can't do it. I was trying to do it visually, too sweet him. I can't do it. You just have to know I'm too sweet in you.
You just have to know it.